everyone, this is Simona, and I will guide you through a practice for the deep core using some elements from yoga and Pilates. You don't need any kind of special equipment or props for this class. If you have a yoga mat, that's fine. Otherwise, any soft surface will do, like a soft rug or carpet. And also, if you have a block or a ball or a foam roller, you're welcome to keep these nearby, and I will show you some options later on for using them. But if you don't have that, that's totally fine as well. All right, so we'll start seated here, just to have the opportunity to notice how the force of gravity acts on our body. We exist in this constant field of gravity, this constant force that acts downward on our bodies. And over time, there can be wear and tear if we don't have good alignment and good use of the core. So right now, as you're seated, I invite you to notice your belly and your low back, and to feel how long or how arched your low back feels. And take a few moments to maybe arch your low back and then round it a little bit, and notice how that feels. As you arch forward and as you round back, is there a place where you're in the center, where you're neither arching nor rounding? Can you pause in that place for a moment? Can you imagine that your tailbone is getting pulled down and the crown of the head gets pulled upwards, and there's literally more space in between the vertebrae of your low back? You notice that as you do that, your low belly is going to draw in a little bit to support the low back. So let that happen. Let the sides of your neck get longer, the crown of the head to be suspended upwards. Now let your arms just hang by your sides, and with your next exhale, lift the arms forward and up, and notice what that does in the body. As you inhale, bring the arms back down. Exhale your arms up and inhale them down. As you do this at your own pace, notice what happens with your low back. Does it tend to arch as you lift your arms? Does your chest or your belly tend to stick forward as you lift your arms? Do your shoulders tend to come up as you lift your arms? Now try to really focus your mind in your low belly and your low back. And as you lift the arms, pull your low back down towards the floor and your low belly in. Notice how that stabilizes you, so the ribs don't reach forward, your low back doesn't arch, and the shoulders don't come up. Let's do a couple more of these, really trying to feel a connection between the arms and the core. So it's really like the core lifts the arms. It's not the shoulders lifting the arms, it's the core. Good. And then let's bring the arms back down, and we'll try to feel this same kind of movement on our backs. So start with your feet flat on the floor, and you're welcome to roll down vertebra by vertebra if that feels good, or get down some other way, whatever works for you. And make your way down on the floor with your feet about hip width apart, your knees above your ankles. Now, as you inhale, let your low back arch. And as you exhale, let it flatten. So this is called pelvic tilting. When we bring the low back to arch, we are doing an anterior pelvic tilt. And when we flatten the low back, we call that a posterior pelvic tilt. So inhaling into that anterior tilt, tilting forward basically, and then posterior tilt, tilting back on the exhale. And just do a few of these, inhaling forward and exhaling back. So when you inhale, your low back arches, which means the low back muscles engage, and the front of the body muscles, the belly, get longer. And on the exhale, the low back flattens. That means it gets longer and the front of the body engages. But if you can, as you do this, try to keep your abs fairly relaxed. So you could try taking your hands on your belly and make sure that the belly stays fairly soft as you do this. You don't want to contract the belly here. You want to keep those muscles long. Instead of contracting the abs, you want to make use of your psoas muscle, the deeper core muscles that connect your leg bones to your spine. So it's those muscles that pull your spine closer to your legs on the inhale and then pull your spine away from the legs on the exhale. Now you're welcome to keep doing this, or if you want to challenge yourself more, keep the arms alongside your body. And as you exhale next and flatten the low back, let that action bring your arms overhead and as close to the floor as they reach. On the inhale, as you arch the low back, bring your arms back down. And on the exhale, flatten the low back and let the arms come up. So this is pretty much the exact same motion that we did when we were sitting. Only that now we have the floor behind us to give us a reference point, to help us feel how the low back behaves, how the shoulders behave as we do this. All right, let's do one more like this. Last one. Good. And then once you come back down, let's take the palms onto the low belly so they frame the two sides, the left and the right side of the low belly. And every time you inhale, allow your belly to expand. And as you exhale, imagine the two sides of your low belly getting closer together, closer to their midline. If you were to draw a line from your pubic bone going through your belly button and then up your body all the way to your nose and your crown, that's the line you're bringing the two sides of your belly towards. So it's like you're tightening a belt around your belly every time you exhale, drawing this in, squeezing it in. And you don't actually want to squeeze the belly down. So it's not about bringing it down towards the floor, it's about bringing it in towards its center. So every time you exhale, you draw the low belly towards its center. And as you do that, next time you exhale, also bring the arms overhead. See if it's possible now to move the arms overhead without flattening or arching the low back. So we'll keep the low back neutral and simply draw the low belly towards its midline as we lift the arms. See the difference? We're just engaging the low belly, the transverse abdominals, like a supportive band around the low belly. Good. One more like this. And if you want to make this more challenging, then the next time you exhale, you could take your feet up and parallel to the floor, so both knees above your hips. And then as you inhale and lift the arms overhead, you could tap one foot down to the floor. And as you exhale, bring the arms and leg back to center. And then inhale to tap the other foot down. And exhale back to center. And if that feels good and you want even more challenge, then you could tap both feet down to the floor. But so when I say if that means good, I mean how does it feel in your low back? Does your low back feel long and not stressed? If you feel any kind of strain in your low back, please bring your feet down or just move one foot at a time. Make sure the low back feels really, really soft and stable. And that stability comes from your core. So the two sides of your belly, they draw in towards their midline, towards their center, as you take the limbs away from center. So every time you exhale, you're stretching away from your center. Every time you inhale, you come back in, but this whole motion is controlled by your core. The further away you move your feet, the harder this is. If you want even more challenge, you could work towards straightening the legs. You could even have the legs all the way straight, and then you're going to take them away from your arms slowly with control and bring them back up. So play with this at your own level, at your own pace. Try to feel into this, so it doesn't have to look like anything. Most importantly is, how does it feel? How does it feel in your low back? How does it feel in your core? Let's go for just a couple more, wherever you're at. All right, last one. And let's go ahead and hug the knees in towards the chest. You can hold each knee with one hand and circle them in opposite directions, making one clockwise and one counterclockwise circle. And reverse. Good. And then let's keep the knees bent and the shins parallel. Take the arms out to the sides, and as you exhale next, bring the knees halfway towards your left as you rotate the torso to the right. Pause here. Imagine the right side of your belly getting heavier. You could even use your right hand to make it heavier, even as your right hip comes off the floor. Make sure you're still breathing. And with your next exhale, get another halfway towards your left. Just hovering your legs out in the air. You're not touching the ground yet. You're just breathing here, making sure there's heaviness in the right side of your body. So you're stable through here. One more breath. And as you exhale, relax the legs completely to the left. Let at least your feet touch down, even if the knees don't. And if you want, you could take your left hand and just rest it above your right knee. So you don't have to pull your right knee down, but just let that hand rest there, relaxing your left shoulder down onto the floor. Good. And taking another big inhale here. As you exhale next, press the outer right foot up into the air, and then bring the left leg up as well. So we're going to start from here, and then bring the knees halfway down towards the right. The torso rotates now towards the left. The belly turns towards the left. The left arm reaches out. Take a couple big breaths here. And then bringing the legs another halfway down towards the left as you rotate, another halfway down towards the right, as you rotate the torso towards the left. Let your feet and your knees hover just above the ground there. And take one more breath here. And as you exhale, melt all that tension, release the legs down. If you want, you can rest your right hand above that left knee. And just breathe. Notice the space available in the left side of your body. And taking one more inhale here. As you exhale, press the outer left leg up so you come back to center. Bring both legs up. Give them another hugging towards the chest. And then let's set the feet back down onto the floor. This time we're going to interlace the fingers behind the head. Allow the elbows to open out. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, lengthen your back as you curl the torso out towards the knees, pointing the elbows forward. Inhale back down. And exhale, lengthen your back and bring yourself up. And continue with your breath. Every inhale you're going down, every exhale coming up. Now what you're trying to feel here is the muscles in your back lengthening. So you literally want to find more space in the muscles of your back without shortening the front of your body. So try not to tighten your belly here. Try to keep your belly and the the front of your body also very, very long. So the whole body lengthens. And one more. Good. Now you can rest here for a moment. Keep your right hand where it is. Place the left hand on your belly. And just notice how you feel. Let go of all that effort. Then use the left hand to grab your right knee. Feel free to draw the right knee closer to you as needed. As you inhale, arch your low back, tilting your pelvis forward. And as you exhale, flatten your low back and curl yourself up towards that right knee. Inhaling down, lengthen the front of your body. Exhale, lengthen the back of your body. Inhale to lengthen the front. Exhale to lengthen the back. Two more. Stay with your breath. Last one. And then release. Take both hands onto your belly. Notice the difference between the two sides of your spine. The quality of the muscles in your back. Then bring the left hand behind your head. Use the right hand to grab the left knee. Draw it as close to your chest as you need to. And then as you inhale, arch your low back. So the left knee will move a little bit away from your chest. And on the exhale, flatten the low back and curl yourself up, really lengthening the back body. Inhale again to come down, arch. And exhale, flatten as you lengthen. Three more. Inhaling to arch. And exhaling to lengthen. And last one. Good. And then keep your left hand where it is. Rest your right hand onto your belly. Take a moment to notice the difference between the two sides of your spine. The quality of the muscles there. And now use your right hand to grab your right knee. So on your inhale, you're going to arch your back again, pressing the right knee away from your chest. And on the exhale, flatten the low back and bring the left elbow towards your right knee. Inhaling to come down again and exhaling to do this cross. So you're lengthening from the right hip to the left shoulder through your back. So again, we're going to do a set of 5. So that's our third one. And 2 more here. Focusing on the length through the back body from the right hip to the left shoulder. And last one. And then release that foot. Release both hands on your belly. Take a moment to notice the difference between the 2 diagonals on your back. The diagonal that goes from the right hip to the left shoulder versus the one that goes from the left hip to the right shoulder. And when you feel ready, bring the right hand behind your head. Grab a hold of your left knee with your left hand. Inhale to arch your low back. And as you exhale, bring that right elbow and left knee as close together as they will get. Inhaling to release and lengthen, and exhaling to curl up. And really feel the length in the back body. Think about how much space you can create across that diagonal from the left hip to the right shoulder. Last 2. And last one. Really long, lots of space. And release. Take a few breaths here, noticing your belly, your back. If you want, you can take the arms out to the sides, bend the elbows into a cactus position. Take your feet about as wide as the mat, or if you don't have a mat, just a little wider than your hips. And then let them windshield wipe side to side. Every time you exhale, the knees go to one side, the head turns to the other side. As you inhale, they come back to center. And as you exhale, the knees go again to one side, the head to the other side. Inhaling center, exhaling twist. Really noticing the diagonals now in the front of the body, from the front of the right shoulder to the front of the left hip, and from the front of the left shoulder to the front of the right hip. And when you feel ready, slowly come back to center. And we're going to hug the knees in towards the chest. So this is where, if you have a foam roller or a ball, you might want to use them. If you don't have any, you're going to straighten your legs up and stay here with your hips down on the floor, your arms by your sides, pressing the feet in towards the ceiling. But if you have a foam roller or a ball, it may be good to take them now and place them underneath you to create a little bit more instability and use your core. So a ball, you could lift your hips, place the ball underneath you, and then drawing the knees towards your chest, you'll straighten the legs up. And try to settle here into that ball, noticing all that side to side rocking and trying to minimize that. Or if you have a foam roller, then you can place the roller lengthwise and sit on one end of it. And you can have your arms forward, or you can have your hands down by your sides and slowly come down to the floor, to the roller. Scoot down enough so that your head is supported. And again, from here, you're going to draw the knees towards the chest and straighten them. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate the rest from the roller, but if you're on the ball or on the floor, it's going to be exactly the same. We're going to try to engage again the two sides of the belly, drawing in towards their midline so that there's some tone here in the belly. Flex your feet, and as you inhale next, point your right toes and extend that leg diagonally forward as far as feels good without arching your back. Flex that foot and bring it back up. Point the other toes, lengthen them out, flex the foot, and bring it back up. So you can do that extension as you inhale, and flex and exhale the leg back up. Or if it's difficult to keep the low back neutral, then you could try exhaling as you take the leg away from you. That's going to make it a little bit easier to engage your core. Exhaling to reach out, and inhaling to come back up. So whichever version works for you is fine. Just make sure that your low back stays neutral as you bring the limbs away from you. And if you're having an easy time here, of course, you can try both legs, stretching out, and then flexing and coming back up. But really trying to make sure that your low back stays supported as you do this. You don't have to go very far down. So notice where your limit is. Let's do 3 more, wherever you're at. As you do your last 2, try to find more space here in your hips. Softness in your face and jaw. Last one. Good, and then slowly bend the knees towards your chest. Place the feet back onto the floor. And wherever you are, whether you're on the ball or the roller or the ground, you can take the arms overhead, stretch out the body if you want, even lengthen the legs, and stretch your body long from toes to fingers, really, really, really long. Take another deep breath here. And as you exhale, roll over to one side and press yourself up. Good. So if you have the roller, please put it out of the way. If you had a ball, put it out of the way. And we're going to come back to seated now to end our practice by again noticing our relationship to gravity. So feel free to sit on a cushion or a block or anything that help support you. You can be cross-legged or on your heels. And again, we're going to let the arms down by our sides. Imagine the crown of the head getting pulled up, the tailbone getting pulled down. And with your exhale, let the arms float up. And as you inhale, bring them back down. Exhale, pull the low back down as the arms come up. See if that feels any easier now. And then bring the arms down. One more like this. And release. Good. Now turn the palms to face out. Inhale, float the arms up. And as you exhale, draw the palms together to your heart. And let's lean over to one side just a little bit. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide. We're going to stretch the hips before we end. Grab a hold of the soles of the feet or the outer feet or the ankles. Inhale to lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, completely give way to gravity. Relax your forehead down. Completely let go of any tension in your neck. And imagine that gravity is pulling not only the head, but gets to stretch everything in the back of the body. From the head, the neck, shoulders, backs of the legs, all the way to your feet. If you want, you could even stretch the arms forward and completely melt into the shape. Take another inhale here. And as you exhale, lengthen the spine as you make your way back up. Good. And let's come back to that seated position to close our practice. Lengthen up through the crown of the head, down through your tailbone. Allow the palms to turn to face out. Keep your low back low as you inhale to float the arms up, shoulders stay down. And as you exhale, draw the palms together in front of your heart. Thank you so much for joining me for this short practice. I hope this helped. Namaste.